Welcome to Max class. In this video we are going to learn about decimal numbers. So last video we learned about expansion form of decimal numbers, right? So in this video we learn about the equivalent decimal fraction and how to compare decimal fraction as well as how to convert to fraction part. So first we'll see the equivalent decimal fraction. So how you will find equivalent decimal fraction? So in an unlike decimal number, okay, in unlike decimal number means what? Which has different decimal places. If you have same value or equal value, then you can call it as an equivalent fraction. Let me explain you with an example. Suppose if you have 0.4, 0.40, 0.400 and 0.4000. So in this case, all these number, let me take another color, yes. So in this case, all these number represent only one value, that is 0.4. It represent only one value, that is 0.4. How? If you ask me, see, if you take 0.4 as well as 0.4000, always remember after decimal point, if the zero is at the end, okay, then that zero doesn't have any value. Okay, then the zero doesn't have any value unless or until, suppose if you have a number over there, then the value differs. Okay, but if you don't have, if you have only the zeros at the end, then it doesn't have any value. The zeros doesn't have any value. We'll say it as the 0.4. Okay, so always remember this point. Clear? So in that case, so here I have 0.4, here is also 0.4, here is also 0.4 and here is also 0.4, which means what? My this decimal numbers is equivalent to the value 0.4, so I can call it as an equivalent decimal fraction. Let me give you one more example. So if you see here, the question is 0.4. Yes, so here if you see, the question is 0.4, 0.04 and 0.004. So as I said, so it starts with 0.4 and the next one is 0.004. So as I said earlier, if you have a number at the end of the zero, then the value differs. Clear? I can't say 101 rupees and 1001 rupees are same, right? 101 has different value, 1001 has different value. So in the same way, in decimal point, if you have only zeros at the end, it doesn't have any value for that zero. But if you have a number after zeros, then the value differs. So if you see here, it is 0.4, here it is 0.04, which has a different value, and 0.004 has a different value. Clear? So in that case, this is not equivalent decimal fraction. I hope now you have understood what is equivalent decimal fraction, right? So if you have equal value, then we call it as an equivalent decimal fraction, or else it is not equivalent decimal fraction. Clear? Now we are going to see the next topic, that is comparison of decimal fraction. So comparison of decimal fraction is same like how we compare normal numbers, which is greater, 2 or 3 or 7 or 10. So same way we compare. So let me explain you with an example. So which is greater, 12.0193 or 102.01? So here first step you have to take the integral part, that is the number which is in the left side to the decimal point. So which is the number that is left side to the decimal point? Here it is 12 and here it is 102. So these are the number which is left side to the decimal point. So you have to take that numbers first. Okay, so first take the number and see which is greater. So is it 12 is greater or 102? Obviously 102 is greater. Then in that case, the number, the integral part, which integral part is greater? No, so that decimal is the greatest decimal. Clear? So I can say 102.01 is greater than 12.0193. Clear? So this is how you compare the decimal. Suppose for example, if I have integral parts like 11.3 and 11.12. Suppose if you have integral decimal numbers like this, I need to compare. So if you see my integrals are same, so in that case you can go for the decimal point, the first place value. What is the first place value? That is my 10th place value. So in here I have 3 and here I have 1. So which is greater? Obviously 3 is greater, right? So which means 11.3 is greater. So when your integral part is same, then go for the decimal part. Decimal part, first place value, the 10th place value you have to see. Suppose if your 10th place value is same, then go for the 100th place value. Okay, like that, like how we do know normal comparison of number, we used to do know the same method we are using here in decimal numbers also. Clear? Fine. Now we'll see how to convert decimal to fractions. Okay, so only just you need to follow 3 steps. First step, write the given decimal number without inserting decimal point. Suppose for example, if the decimal number given is 1.342, you should write it as 1342. Okay, you should not put point. Okay, you have to, that is, suppose if you have a 1.37, if the question is 1.37, first step you have to write it as 137. First step. Clear? Then what is the second step? Write 1 in the denominator followed by as many as 0 as the decimal point. That is by, so this comes in numerator. Okay, then put 1 in the denominator, and in your question after decimal point, let me take another color. So after decimal point, how many numbers you had? 2 numbers I had, right? So which means I'll put 2 zeros. Suppose if you had 3 numbers, then I'll put 3 zeros. So this is my second step. Third step, write the resulting fraction in the lowest form. Now the third step is, if you are able to simplify, you can simplify and write in lowest form. So here I cannot simplify with 2 table, 5 table or 10 table. So I'll leave as it is. I'll write the answer as 137 by 100. Clear? So this is how you convert decimal to fraction. Let me show you with an example. For example, if I have 1.5. Okay, 1.5. So first step what you should do, write it as 15 by, put 1 in the denominator, and after decimal point, how many numbers I have? 1 number, right? So put 10. Now 15 by 10. Got it? Now it is in form of what? Fraction. Now you see, can I divide it by any common table? Yes or no? Yes, I can divide. Which table? 5 table. How many 5s are 15? 3 times. So you can see here 3 times. And how many 5s are 10? 2 times. So 3 by 2. 3 by 2 cannot be simplified, so I have written directly. Clear? So this is how you convert decimal to fraction. Let me give you another example. Suppose if you have 21.72. So first step, write the number without decimal. 2172 I will write. Then put by and put 1 in the denominator, and see after decimal point how many numbers are there. Clear? So after decimal point, how many numbers? 2 numbers are there. So I'll put 2 zeros. So you can see here. So I'll put 2 zeros. Now 2172 and 100 can be divided in common table. What table? 2 table. So I'll divide it by 2 table. So 2 ones are 2. 1 will not go in 2 table. So I'll put 0 and I'll go for the next number, 17. 17 will not come, right? 16 will come. So 8 2s are 16. 8 I have written here. Balance is what? 1. So I'll put 1 before the next number. So before 2 I'll put 1. So now it has become what? 12. How many 2s are 12? 6 times. So I have written 6 there. By first what I have? First I'll take 10. How many 2s are 10? 5 times. And I have zeros. I have written 0 directly. Clear? Fine. Now again 1086 by 50 can be simplified by what table? Again 2 table is possible. So I'll divide by 2 table. First what I have? 10. How many 2s are 10? 5 times. So I've written 5 there. What is the next number I have? 8. How many 2s are 8? 4 times. So I've written 4 there. Next number what I have? 6. How many 2 times? 3 2s are 6. So I have written 3 there. Clear? And how many 2s are 50? 25 times. So 25 I have written there. Clear? So this is how you simplify the fractions. Now 543 by 25 cannot be simplified, so I'll leave as it is. Clear? Let me give you another example. Fine. So you can see here. So the question is 0.000893. So first step, write the number as it is. So previous 0 you can leave. You don't need to mention there. Just write the number which is given. Only that number has value, right? So 893 I have written there. By put 1 now. After point, see how many numbers are there. So totally there are 6 numbers. So I have to put 6 zeros. So how many decimal numbers are there? According to that you will put zeros. Clear? Now this cannot be simplified, so I will leave as it is. Clear? So this is how we convert decimal to fraction. First step, write the decimal number without keeping the point. Second step, put by and write 1. Third step, put 0 according to the decimal places. And then if you can simplify, you just simplify to lowest form and then write the final answer. This is how you convert decimal into fraction. Clear? Fine. So I hope in this video you have understood how to find the equivalent decimal fraction, how to compare decimal numbers, as well as how to convert decimal numbers to fraction. You have learned. Let's meet you all in the next video. Thank you everyone.